Hi, this is Sudhir. I have worked for MUFG Bank and Citibank in the past. And today I'm going to tell you that if you're living in US, why Bitcoin might be your last chance to retire predictably and with certainty. I have crunched some numbers for you, and I'm going to tell my reasoning about why American household who is having a median household income of 80,000 to 100K wanting to retire, and this might be their last chance to retire predictably. So just to get it started, Michael Saylor has presented that Bitcoin is going to increase at the rate of about 20 to 30% over the next 20 to 21 years. Michael Saylor has personally also predicted Bitcoin might hit 13 million by 2045 and might grow at the rate of 29% for the next 21 years. But for today's calculation, we are going to look at the rule of 72. What is the rule of 72 is basically it is the easy way to calculate how long your investment will take time to double. So for this, I am assuming that Bitcoin might grow at the rate of 24%. Why 24%? Because if you divide 72 by 24, you can expect Bitcoin to double every 3 years, which it has done in the past also. And if we assume that this is the blended net annual percentage rate at which this Bitcoin grows, which looks 24% healthy to me, not too much like this poll where Michael Saylor is presenting that it will be having 38% growth or as per his personal prediction of 29% also. So we are taking 24%. So if I put it in this calculator for somebody who is 30-year-old now and wanting to retire, let's say at least 5 to 10 years earlier than his peers and want to retire in next 20 years by the age of 50, let's say. So let's say if we are starting in 2025 and we are ending 20 years later in 2045, and we are starting with absolutely, let's say, zero, and we are starting with 8,000 contributions annually into a Bitcoin IRA, which is a tax-free way to invest in Bitcoin. And let's say we continue to contribute 8,000 for next 20 years. And let's say assume the case one is for, let's say, investing in any index fund like S&P 500, which has given in the past 10% return over the long period of time of, let's say, 15-20 years. So I have put 10% here. And the case 2 is for the Bitcoin, where I'm assuming the same contribution for the same period of time, but the annual rate keeping is 24. So we see at the end of case 1, where you dollar cost averaged into a passive index fund like S&P 500 for 20 years. Every year, if you contributed 8,000, you will end up after 20 years with 500,000 something. And in case 2, which is the Bitcoin's case, you will round up to 2.5 million. Now, to backtrace it, how much actually do you need for retirement? Let's say if you're retiring at the age of 50 and you're going to live in your retirement for 30 years, and let's say assume you're going to die at 80. So in that case, let's look at the median household income of a US person. So it has been around $80,000 as per 2023 data. Let's assume it is the same for now. Of course, it has increased because of inflation. It might be about 100K also. When you multiply 80,000 with 25, which is the general rule of thumb for retirement in America, that if you have 25 years worth of median income, then you can sort of assume the money will last longer than you and you will be able to comfortably withdraw from it regularly. So if we keep 80,000 multiplied by 25, we will get about 2 million. And if we assume this is 100K as per inflated numbers of 2024 or 2025, it is about 2.5 million. So somewhere about 2 million to 2.5 million is the base case. This is how much money you will expect it to be having at the time of retirement if you want to comfortably live for 30 years after you have retired from the age of 50. So now let's go back to this calculator. Let's play with this. This was one scenario. In another scenario, let's assume that you can't commit 8,000 every month, but let's say if you have $50,000 right now, let's say in your 401k or in some IRA of stock portfolio. Case 1, let's say assume you continue to keep your 50,000 and don't contribute to it for the next 20 years, how much you will have. And similarly for case 2, if you keep 50,000 in that, which is the Bitcoin case, how much you will have after 20 years. So this is amazing. You see about 336K you will be expecting in case 1, which is way too less. And in case of Bitcoin, you will be expecting around 3.6 million if you start with 50,000 now. So 3.6, which is way over and above what you actually needed. Let's say if you have 30,000 in your stock portfolio, which you want to roll over into a Bitcoin IRA, the numbers will look like this. So at the end of 20 years with 30,000 also, if you just import from any other IRA to a Bitcoin IRA fund, which is tax-free, you will be expecting 2.2 million at the end of 20 years. So now let's keep another hypothetical scenario, which is even more conservative. We are starting with a contribution of 8,000. Why I am saying 8,000? Because that is the maximum contribution you can do in US in an IRA in a year. We start from not even 8,000, let's say even 5,000. Let's calculate for this conservative case of starting with 5,000 only. And we are annually contributing 5,000 only to a Bitcoin IRA. In case 2, and in case 1, we are contributing to an index fund. In that case, you will be ending up with 320K at the age of 50. And in second case, which is the Bitcoin's case, you will be ending up with about 1.8 million, which is much more than the case 1. If we bump it up to 6,000 in each case, then you will have 2.1 million in case 2 and 377K in case 1. Let's bump it up again to 7K each. I think this will bring you very close to your retirement figure in case 2. In case 2, you are about at 2.5 million, and in case 1, you are at about 400K. So you see which case is more attractive to you. Clearly, case 2 is more attractive. And even if you increase return rate of case 1 to, let's say, 14 or 15%, still you will not be able to catch up with case 2. So this might be the last chance for you to retire with certainty in US, because inflation is really, really high, and S&P 500 or any other investment, for example, real estate, might not give you that kind of return performance which you actually need to retire. And if you see in case 2 or case 1, let's say even you increase case 1 to 30 years and only keep case 2 20 years, then also you are not able to catch up with the Bitcoin's return. You are about at 800K only, which you have worked for 30 years of contribution. And in this case, you only worked for 20 years and contributed for only 20 years, which is like, if I translate it in simple terms, you're retiring by 50 as compared to somebody retiring by 60. So you're retiring 10 years earlier also with a modest investment of 5,000 and recurring investment of 7,000 in a Bitcoin IRA. So just run these numbers personally and see which case is making more sense to you if you certainly want to retire. I'm going to bring more insights on retiring with Bitcoin with certainty in 2025. And some of you who might be having 100K stacks might even retire earlier than the case 1 or case 2. If I keep 100K rolled over into a Bitcoin IRA, and let's say if I only worked for 15 years in each and only contributed $7,000 after that, then I'm hitting astronomical numbers like 9.4 million, which is like unheard of. And if you can roll over just right now also, in case 1, case 2, the real case 1 number would look like 1.6 million and case 2 number would look like 7.3 million. So even with 100K right now saved, if you just roll it over to a Bitcoin IRA and just keep it there a period of 20 years, then you might have this kind of a fund. So just subscribe to my channel, because in coming weeks, I'm going to bring more insights on retiring with Bitcoin. So see you around.